The Islamic State has officially claimed responsibility for smuggling a bomb inside the Russian airliner, the Metrojet Airbus A321, that was down last month with the 224 passengers inside. They were all dead. And this in the online magazine, the English magazine that they have, Dabiq, where they were sharing, Margaret, not only pictures of the device that they claim they used, that we have them and we're going to show it to our audience, but also photographs of the passports of some of the victims of the flight, which for me sounded a little bit improbable unless they were the first in the crash, but that's another story. What they're claiming is that they were the ones that brought that plane down. Russia, their reports is that there was a bomb, about 1 kilo of TNT, that kind of matches with the bomb that they're trying to show as the basic weapon of the attack. We have a quote from the magazine, and it says, "After having discovered a way to compromise the security at the Sharm el-Sheikh International Airport and resolving to bring down a plane belonging to a nation in the American-led Western coalition against the Islamic State, the target was changed to a Russian plane. A bomb was smuggled onto the airplane." And this is in response, obviously, to the escalation of Russia and the involvement of Russia of bombing Syria. What do you make out of this?
Well, they put it in English, first of all, which means that they want Americans to read it. They want us to feel fear. Look, we can't verify any of these claims in Dabiq magazine, but what's really troubling to me is that we have Russia's State Security Intelligence Service, the FSB, saying, you know what? In fact, there was 1 kilo of TNT. They verified it, which presumably it matches up with what ISIS is trying to say. So even though, in my opinion, it's propaganda and it's in English, I wonder if they did it in Russian as well. But they want to instill fear. Oh, we were going to target you Americans, but we decided to do Russia instead this time.
It is, you know, that's ISIS, and their whole strategy is to instill fear in the population, specifically. Like you said, there's no way to confirm that that was a bomb. Things kind of align, but at the same time, it's scary. In the rare case that that was the way they did it, it's just a matter of airport security for them to be able or not to, bring a plane down. Now, Russia has a response immediately, a military escalation. They sent out 25 bomber jets, the biggest air mission that Russia has in decades, showing the power that they have and how invested they are in getting involved in the conflict.
Putin's official statement was that he wants no limitation when it comes to going after ISIS, no period of limitation. And you mentioned the cruise missiles and the bombers, 25 of them in all. He is going to bomb Syria back to the Stone Age, which really, in my opinion, causes great fear because we're talking about innocent lives, innocent civilians that had nothing to do with this ISIS, implicating ISIS in this tragedy, if in fact they were responsible for it.
Yeah, well, they're calling for 14 important ISIL targets that were destroyed, 24 air-launched cruise missiles. The first time, though, that the Russian authorities get in contact with the U.S. authorities, and they do this in understanding of what's going on. This is the first time after an agreement that they had in October that they will communicate when their operations were beginning. This is the very first time. But also, at the same time, we go back to the same critique that we had when Russia first started bombing in Syria. Idlib and Aleppo are the regions where they are doing these activities that are heavily guarded and are the areas where the rebels against the Assad regime have the most power and the most stability. So it's questionable how much are they after ISIS and how much collateral damage is on the benefit of Assad.
Are they trying to target Assad's enemies? One quick thought in closing this, then I'll wrap it up. I'm hoping that when President Obama met privately with President Putin on the sidelines of the G20 summit, hopefully they discussed the collateral damage at hand here and innocent lives. I'm guessing that they didn't, but my hope is that they did, and that's taken into account when they do these massive bombing rates like this.
Yeah, President Obama said that Putin actually was a constructive partner in the talks that they had in the mark of the G20 meeting. But when you launch 25 bombers into a mission, that's not only an air raid, that's also a statement to the whole world of the power of their military.